Buying physical copies of games is a slowly diminishing thing, but that $60 copy of Fortnite that you bought last year might turn out to be a great investment.
The physical copies of Fortnite released when the game first launched last year are now apparently well sought after collector's items. When the game launched in July 2017, Gearbox published a limited run of physical copies for PS4 and Xbox in the US, as well as on the PC in Europe. Those physical copies basically got you the game's Founders Pack, but on a disc. Remember when Fortnite first launched? It was only the PvE Horde mode, now known as Save the World, which despite being a free-to-play early access title, you had to buy access to via the Founders Pack or a physical copy. Free-to-play was originally due to be added when the game would eventually leave early access, but of course, a free-to-play mode arrived much earlier in the form of Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, which has since eclipsed the game's original vision and gone on to become one of the biggest games on the planet. And it's because of that explosive popularity that the game's original copies are now worth some serious cash. eBay scalpers are selling Fortnite's retail version for anywhere between $150 to $450. Their original retail price was $60 or less. The Fortnite Founders Pack is still available to buy digitally and it costs just $40.
This is some serious inflation over the course of a year. There's other reports of other numbers like £350 in the UK. Some news websites saying it's going for 700 quid, which are unable to verify ourselves, but there you go, someone's reported that. Nevertheless, it is a lot more than the original base price, which was like 30 quid or something to buy yourself into Fortnite's, kind of Founders Pack, the digital version, or you could get a nice physical version, which was just like a little collector's item. And now it really is a collector's item, because if you bought one of them and you're kind of not asked about Fortnite anymore, chuck it on eBay, man. They're going for a lot of money.
I wouldn't. I'd hold on to that shit. I mean, my first reaction would be, who the f*** is buying it for 350 quid? But
hopefully not parents. Hopefully not confused parents thinking, I need to buy.
Yeah. If you're buying it just for the sake of having it, maybe have a word with yourself. But if you're buying it to make a profit in future, that's probably where there's good money on that, because the game's so popular now. 10 years down the line, who knows what it'd be worth? I'm not going to invest in it because it's Fortnite and that. But still, it's probably worth a lot of money, and it's probably a decent investment opportunity.
And in skull-shattering irony news, Nintendo Switch systems could become completely bricked by a new piracy tool, thanks to that very piracy tool's own anti-piracy measures. The SXOS tool allows those who use it to run homebrew programs on their Switch consoles, run emulators for free ROMs of older games, and yes, even play pirated games on their Switch machines. Digital Foundry explained it best. Quote, "It's a software patch for the Switch's operating system released in tandem with a hardware dongle that opens the door to running unsigned code, i.e. homebrew, but also enables copied games to run. SXOS is a paid-for program by Team Executor, and yes, the unbelievable irony is it will brick Switch consoles by locking up the system's internal memory if it detects someone trying to crack the program to share it online for free. The piracy-enabling tool has console-crippling anti-piracy measures built into it." Vulnerability researcher Mike Heskin shared the discovery online after reverse engineering the code. The people behind the software really want to get paid for their work which helps other people avoid paying for other people's work.
Now this is complicated, right? But obviously those pirates want to get paid, but they're stopping other pirates getting paid on the back of their work, right? That's how it works.
It's too good. It's too ironic. It's too beautiful. I can't believe this is a real thing. Like you make software that helps you pirate other people's stuff, other people's games, stuff that those people want to get paid for. And then if someone copies the tool that you've made to pirate other people's work, then you shut down their Switch consoles because you want to get paid. Like, surely you can see the irony there.
And in other news, Creative Assembly is a studio almost synonymous with its PC strategy series Total War, but the British company has been known to make games in other genres too. It made the 2008 hack-and-slash adventure Viking Battle for Asgard and 2014's first-person survival horror Alien Isolation, for example. And it's the same team inside Creative Assembly behind Alien Isolation that's now recruiting for a new IP. All we know so far is that the new game is a tactical FPS, and the studio is hiring a lead environment artist, lead UI artist, and animators. There's no mention of specific platforms, but the job postings are grouped under the studio's console team. The nature of the job openings in senior positions suggest the game is still some way off.
I'm a big fan of Creative Assembly's studio. I love to talk war games. I was actually a massive fan of Alien Isolation, and I really rate it as one of my favourite horror titles ever. I really liked it, and although it was kind of a divisive game, some people didn't like it so much. And I think they proved with that, and with some of their earlier games. They had like some brawler games, hack and slash type games. They can do other things than strategy, and I think they've already done a first person game, and they combined some tactics, some strategy with a first person game. I reckon that could definitely work.
Well, a little known fact about Creative Assembly, I guess, is that they've got like 7 or 8 different development teams.
Big studio.
They are a huge studio. They do mobile games as well as the strategy games, first-person games. You know, when it comes to Britain, I can't think of any other bigger development companies.
Well, they're definitely one of the biggest for sure, yeah. And the upcoming first-person survival adventure We Happy Few, which was refused classification in Australia last month, has been handed a lifeline for release in the country. We Happy Few was not given classification against Australia's National Classification Code on the grounds that games depicting drug misuse or addiction in such a way that they offend against the standards of morality, decency and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults will not be approved. But this week the Aussie Classification Board said it will hear an appeal over the decision in the coming days. We Happy Few was refused classification due to the heavy drug-related themes in the game. The board's original ruling read, quote, "In the board's opinion, the game's drug use mechanism of making game progression less difficult constituted an incentive or reward for drug use. Therefore, the game exceeded the R18 plus classification because of the drug use related to incentives and rewards. The game will be re-reviewed on July the 3rd. It's only a couple of days away at the time of this video going out, so it should be very imminent to see what happens with that. I wonder what could possibly change their mind. Maybe a more thorough explanation from the developers about the themes of the game. Although you do get a quicker, better route, I guess, for using the drugs in the game, the idea is that is terrible. The world is kind of oppressed by this drug use, and people are just kind of drugged up to the eyeballs so they don't actually see how bad the world is, and that's all tied into the story. So it's not literally like, yeah, take drugs, everything's better. That's not what the game's about. The game's about the opposite. But I guess technically the board could see it the other way around. They could see it as just drugs equals better game.
And the fact that there is an R18 plus rating in Australia, the fact they can't even throw it in that bracket, the grown adults can't even choose to play this game because they won't rate it, is a shame. It's a huge shame, because we're all about giving people the choice so long as it's safe for them to do so. You wouldn't give this to kids because they might learn drugs are good or whatever. That's what they're trying to fit. That's what they're trying to defend against. You can still do that and release it to plus 18. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Finally, in a surprise sudden release, the survival horror masterpiece Deadly Standing by video game auteur Hodeo Kojumba is finally available to play right now. The game is a first-person shooter survival title, full of giant shadowy creatures in a spooky location. You drive around in a truck, pop out to shoot creatures in the distance every now and then, and protect a child from the perils of the world. We know it's the real deal because the opening credits tell us that it's, quote, a genius Kojumba game. And the Google Play Store's description is also quite special. Quote, everyone knows Kojumba genius, therefore the game is brilliant. There was a global catastrophe. The big explosion changed the familiar world and the water began to go away. All marine animals are stranded. Death spread all over the planet. There were strange dark creatures. The birth rate of children has stopped, but there is a small ray of hope in the form of a new child over the past many years.
Probably one of the games of E3, Deadly Standing. There's a lot of buzz about it, and Kojumba is a genius. He's undoubtedly a genius, and the work he's done in bringing in the Hollywood talent like Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, it's a bit of a surprise that it's a mobile game, to be honest. A survival horror mobile game, Deadly Standing. But that's what it is. It's on the Google Play Store right now if you want to play it. Deadly Standing.
I think that name's wrong there. I think it's Norma Reedus and...
Sorry,
Maggie Mickles. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fan of Hodeo Kojumba's games, I might pass on this one, to be honest. I just don't like how long they are, like unnecessarily long, especially the cutscenes and that.
There's no cutscenes in this, mate.
Isn't there?
So, Deadly Standing, the long wait is over. Are you going to be picking it up? Let us know down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There should be another video right there if you want to watch that, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.